This really helps rewire your brain. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Kristell and I help you cultivate relationships around you by healing yourself from the inside out. And of course, finding your soulmate, your special someone, the person that you actually do desire to have in your life. Today, I'm gonna be talking about the unconscious mind versus the conscious mind and how this is actually holding you back, not allowing you to see the abundance right in front of your eyes. So our unconscious mind is where our beliefs and our values are stored. Our beliefs are what make us who we are and create our personality. This is who we are. It's based off of our belief system. So if you were born into a family where your parents believed in being married, no divorce, talking things out, working through problems, giving love and support, hugging each other, embracing all of the good and all of the bad, and really just loving on each other, then that's what you're going to believe. Now, if you are born into a family where you have abandonment issues, your dad left, your mom left, whether it was physical or mental, maybe they were still there, but they just weren't there. You've had like maybe abuse, mental, emotional, physical, financial, spiritual. Your belief system is going to be very different than the first scenario that I just explained. So when we're taught by our parents these beliefs, when we're children, we say, okay, mommy and daddy. When your parents teach you these beliefs when you're young, you believe this stuff to be true. You look at your parents like they are God. They are God to you. They are like the one and only, right? They're your caretaker. They should be there to take care of you. They should be your God. But I just think that we think of like our parents when we're little as like God. And then when we get older, we kind of like adopt our higher power, universe, God as like kind of like a parent figure as well, or at least I have. It's just like that spiritual mommy and daddy, that spiritual energy. I know that's kind of deep, but it is what it is. So you have your belief system from your parents and then you go through life, right? And you apply your belief system to all situations, to when opportunities show up. You have your belief system about that. And whether or not you have a belief system that you can succeed in that opportunity, you may or may not see it. Say your parents said that you're only able to make like $20,000 a year because they made $20,000 a year. You're not gonna believe that you can make $60,000 or $70,000 a year. So if an opportunity comes up, right, you might want to do it, but your unconscious mind and what you were taught, it's ingrained into your neural pathways that you do not believe that you can actually do that, so you will not do that. And this goes for relationships as well. So as we go through our day and go through our life based off of our belief system, which is in our unconscious mind, our brain, which there's a part in the brain called the reticulating activating system, and it sifts through your whole entire day for opportunities, people, situations that are going to agree with your unconscious mind that you can actually take action in. If it is something that is not agreeable to you, then you just won't see it. You'll walk right past it. And this is why you see a lot of people generation after generation after generation repeating their parents' habits over and over and over and over and over. Like you'll see generations of doctors, right? My dad was a doctor, my grandpa was a doctor, my great-great-grandpa was a doctor. There you go. So when it comes to relationships, if you saw your parents have a really crummy relationship and they were always arguing, always fighting, and mom or dad cheated on each other and they got divorced, you're going to blame yourself. You're going to think it was your fault. You're going to think that that is what is supposed to happen. You're going to think that's normal if that's what you're around. Even if you don't want to do it, most people end up following suit in that, and it just happens because that's their belief system. It's wired in your unconscious mind. So how do you change this? First of all, you have to be aware of this, and you have to be sick and tired of living this stuff. You've got to be ready to change. You have to be ready to change. That is the number one thing. I personally, as a life coach, cannot help any of my students unless they are ready to change. That if you're not ready to change yourself and ready to actually do the work, then you will stay the same. So we are able to change our belief system. I've actually done this. I grew up in a really dysfunctional family with my mom. My dad left, I was abandoned. My mom was extremely abusive to me, all the things. Just think of everything in the world. And that was my life. I thought that was normal. Sad, right? Yeah. So I thought that was normal. And then as I went through my childhood, I started making some friends, and I started to see that, oh, hold on a second. Like, I was different, you know, like my mom was really different. My life was different. They didn't have these issues, right? And even though my mom didn't even want me to have friends, so she would like shelter me from even going to people's houses, I wasn't like allowed to have friends, basically. I started to see this though, and I started to rebel. Like, who wouldn't, right? Of course, which is normal. Long story short, I went through a lot of traumas. I was on my own for most of my childhood and younger adult years, both physically and mentally. And I had no idea what to do. I was so lost because I had no one to help me, right? I felt like I was just in the woods wandering around. So I made a lot of mistakes. And through my life, I finally realized I don't want this anymore. I like want more, right? I am already worthy to have whatever I want, so I want more. So there's something really huge that had happened in my life, and it has a lot to do with a narcissistic person, and I decided this is it. This is enough. I am not allowing this person, I'm not allowing anything in my life to decide my beliefs anymore and who I am and what I can have, and I decided to change my belief system. Even though prior to that relationship, I was a lot more healthy mentally, emotionally, and physically, that relationship really took me down a rabbit hole, and I almost didn't come out of it. As I came out of it, that's when my life changed, and I built my 6-figure business, and part of the reason why I'm here on YouTube right now. So basically, what you do to reprogram your mind is you are aware, you make a decision that you want to change, right? You get to decide. You become more self-aware. You commit to what you want, so be crystal clear on what you want in your life, crystal clear. You commit to that. You make sure that your environment around you is going to support your goal and what you want to do and what you are committing to. So if you have dysfunctional friends in your life and they're not serving you anymore, right? I went through that. If you have dysfunctional family and they're not serving you anymore, I went through that too. If something is unhealthy for you, even if it's your family, I am telling you right now, it is okay to create boundaries and say no. Cut that generational chain from those habits that keep happening. So creating boundaries with your family, or if it's that bad, just walking away. Everybody is different. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you in general kind of what my life looked like and what a lot of people do kind of have to do. So if your friends are drinking and they're always out and that's not in line with what you want in life, then get different friends. Spend time alone, right? You're gonna have to do a lot of healing here. This is not overnight. So spending time alone, right? You're gonna have to start focusing on other things in your life. Get a piece of paper, write down everything that you want in your life, even if you don't believe that you can actually have it, and that is what you're gonna work towards. That is exactly what you're going to start reprogramming your mind, rewiring your brain towards. For example, if you feel like you're unworthy of a healthy, loving relationship, Start telling yourself you're already worthy of that relationship. You just have some wounds that you need to start healing. So it's all about healing from the inside out, right? So going back to your childhood and, you know, writing on a piece of paper the dynamics of your parents and what dysfunction was there, right? And then write the opposite of the dysfunction from experience. That's really hard, first of all. But instead of feeling abandoned, now I feel supported and loved by myself because I show up for myself. So you can't change what your parents did, but you can change how you show up for yourself. So you can stop abandoning yourself, because though your parents, somebody may have abandoned you, you can stop abandoning yourself by showing up for yourself, by giving yourself the support that you need, and by committing to these things that you want and doing the work. If you're telling yourself in your mind, I am abandoned, my parents didn't want me, it's my fault, then you're gonna keep believing that. If you reframe that and you say, I wasn't abandoned, right? My parents want me, they love me. They were just in a place where they didn't know any better, because that's the truth. Your parents didn't know any better because they stopped healing in a certain area of their life from a specific trauma, and they weren't able to teach you that. So that's what's happening. So all you need to do is look at them as kids, right? Forgive them, right? They're just little kids. As kids, they didn't know what else to do, right? They had this trauma and they were hurt, and they carried that into adulthood. They had you, and then you carried that trauma forward. So it's like through generations it's given. So being able to reframe those thoughts that you have is super key. If you feel like you're not loved, one of the cool things that I've actually done in my life is make flashcards. This really helps rewire your brain visually, right? Because you're reading the flashcards every day. So like get 10 flashcards and write on the flashcard the opposite of what you feel about yourself and in your life. Something really positive, something that you want to be true, right? You might not believe it right now, but you want it to be true. So you have the desire. So write it down, and I want you to read that every day. I want you to read that every day, and I want you to really feel into it. Really feel into it and say, I really want to believe this. I want to believe this. Sooner or later, as you heal from the inside out with all of your childhood traumas and you do these things, you are going to start seeing change. So how do you know that you're even changing? Well, you'll start to not really want to be in the same environment that you were in the past. It'll start to not feel very good anymore. And that's a good thing. When you are comfortable with an unhealthy situation, that's not so good. But when you start feeling uncomfortable with that stuff, that is progress. This is going to give you confidence to actually take more risks in your life, right? Push through the fear, listen to your intuition and push through the fear and up-level yourself. And with this, you're gonna attract so much positivity. Now remember, this stuff does not happen overnight. This is a process, but these are the things that are ultimately going to help you evolve into a better human being, attract the job you want, the love of your life, the friends you want, and create ultimate happiness for yourself. So I hope this helped you guys in some way, shape, or form. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with somebody who might need to hear this. And check out my one-on-one Breakthrough to Abundance program. The link is below. You can apply to work with me one-on-one to transform your life. This exact protocol that I did for myself that literally helped me to get out of the depression and narcissistic brainwashing that I was in, build my 6-figure business so that I can show up again for you guys better than I ever have been. So that's one-on-one program. Apply and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. I do not work with everyone. It's gotta be a good fit, you know what I mean? Again, if you're not willing to do the work, nothing's gonna happen. Love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.